Ross in Fort Collins. You're here on the Rich Eisen Show. What's up, Ross?
Hey, Rich, fellow you, Mr. Alum. Go Blue.
Not a boy. What's up? What's in your mind?
I was wondering if you think, given the NCAA's penchant for making mountains out of molehills for Coach Harbaugh, if he'll take off for the NFL if, knock on wood, the Blue can win a national championship.
You know what, Ross? Thanks for the call. Greatly appreciate it. This is the, multi-million-dollar question, which is why Brockman's smiling like a Cheshire cat right now that it's been brought up on the show, and he's not the one who brought it up. I got it. It's, great. No, it's fine.
Thank you, Ross.
Look, I will just flat out shoot you straight. If, let's just say, the Bears wind up with the first and second overall picks, right? And they can pull off the double dip that you keep talking about.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Boom.
And
put it on the board.
And then the Bears call up Jim Harbaugh and say, hey, Jim, how'd you like to come back to the NFL, to the spot where, you made your bones being Ditka's punching bag every now and then, but we still love you here in Chicago. How would you like to be the guy here? And here is the keys to the store. Sorry, Ryan Poles. We've got to let Jim's guy come in and help him shop for the groceries. And here's an insane amount of money to do it. Does Jim say no to that? I mean, could you blame him for saying yes to that?
Be tough.
And then there's the issue of what the hell this stuff is all about right now. What is this all about right now? Because if there is no there, and the athletic department isn't coming out full-throated and telling the NCAA GTFOH, and he's sitting there saying, where is the GTFOH? And if there is a contract that's supposedly been on the table for him to pay him what he deserves, then, and it's not coming now, does that lend all to it? More of him saying, this is it, I'm out of here? And then the NCAA. There was a great article, an opinion piece here in the LA Times over the weekend that they're running the playbook like they did on Pete Carroll and USC. And, how Jim has come out and said, you know what, these kids deserve a piece of the television money. You know what, the transfer portal and the NIL stuff, we should figure this stuff out because it's good for the kids. And the NCAA seeing this is when he's sticking his finger in their eye over cheeseburgers, then, oh, wait a minute. So a bunch of people are saying they have the plays. So let's look into this and let's leak it. Let's get it out there. Let's tell Pete Thamel the name of the guy who was supposedly in the eye of the storm. Let's put it all out there. So there's so much happening right now that does cause, to answer Ross's question, some consternation. And then comes the game against Michigan State. Remember, Chris, I told you earlier on when you were like, you wish the Patriots would lose because they're not going to win it all, whatever.
Absolutely.
And I said, you know what? Sometimes, though, you got to leave your rival in a pool of their own drool. And then, crying for mama, wondering about the future. Not saying that's what the Bills are in right now, but they're definitely questioning what's happening in 2023 off of that loss to your Patriots.
Totally.
Oh, gosh. Michigan State. What Michigan did to Michigan State. And Michigan State's apparently saying before the game, I don't know if we should play this game because if they know our plays, we're going to put our players in jeopardy, in harm's way. Maybe we shouldn't play the game. And then in the game, a Michigan State player is ejected for spearing. And by the way, as I was typing that out, a Michigan State player rips Blake Corum's face mask. It got ugly out there.
Yeah.
It got ugly out there. And then Michigan State is running in the plays like it's 1925 again. You're having their young quarterback come to the sideline, and he's going to get the plays verbally because Michigan might know their signs and have it all out there. And then comes the game when Michigan supposedly with the other team's sign had to get J.J. McCarthy escaping the pocket half the time before he torched him. And Loveland, this kid on the screen from Idaho, a tight end who tomorrow's guest, Todd Blackledge, called Brock Bowers 2.0.
Whoa.
And then the defensive line where you got 10 guys coming in. Many of them scouts are in the stands legally, looking at them for the NFL. And you see these kids all over the lot like J.J. McCarthy. Chris, tell me, who is the leading odds-on gambling favorite to be the Heisman Trophy now.
Yeah,
the Heisman Trophy winner.
It's
Who is
J.J.
it?
McCarthy.
Damn straight, because he's that good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have watched this team and this school forever. And I know Jim says that they're going to start referring to, in future years, quarterbacks in terms of J.J. McCarthy's time there. He's going to be the measuring stick for quarterbacks at Michigan. And again, because Brady, as we all know, had to watch Drew Henson trot in every now and then. Mm-hmm. And Harbaugh's not wrong. He makes every damn throw with a smile on his face. These kids are killing it, and it's got to be eating them up alive that supposedly it's all because they've had the plays. And then on top of it, for Michigan State, let me just finish with this. With all of that, and the school president, interim president, is chagrined over the story about Michigan. Where is the school president on the scale of being chagrined about why they have an interim coach? And then when Michigan beats the tar out of the Spartans to the point where they have 0 points on the board and one image of Hitler on the scoreboard. Yeah, you're scrunching your face. Michigan State had, prior to the game, a trivia moment on the board where you had to guess the photograph of the well-known figure or celebrity where that person was born.
There's no way.
And they had an image of Adolf Hitler on the screen underneath the words that say Spartan Stadium. I know Michigan State fans, many of whom are totally aghast about this, and rightfully so. By the way, there's also an image of a local food chain that is well known in the state of Michigan that's a sponsor there. Do you think they want to have a picture of Hitler next to that? And they apologize. They say they were deeply sorry. There was a third-party vendor in charge of it. What's the name of that vendor? The Third Reich Party? Let me just say this, too, to whoever needs to be told this. There is no acceptable use of anything involving Adolf Hitler, and regardless of what's going on in the Middle East right now, doesn't matter. I don't know if there's young kids need to know, new kids, or whatever, old folks. If you are basically turning to a colleague of yours and saying, hey, we need a photograph of Hitler for this, you should immediately say, you know what, bad idea. In case you're wondering, he was born in Austria. So whoever's maybe, what are you guessing right and you're high-fiving like it's a dot race on the scoreboard? You guessed right on the 3-card Monty underneath the helmet where the football is? So, quite the night.
Wow.
Where Michigan comes in as the villain. And then they just beat them up in the trenches, football style. Beat them up. Where, I guess we knew the plays. Is that what it is? Now, in all seriousness, for just the football aspect of it, Michigan's on a bye. Then they got a home game against Purdue. We will see. Because at Penn State, ain't easy. And we saw what Penn State's defense looked like, with the exception of forgetting who number 18 for Ohio State was. We'll see what that looks like there. Then they go to Maryland, which I think has the ability to pick somebody significant off the rest of this Big Ten season. And then Ohio State at home. We'll see how it all works. But if you were supposed to be stealing signs and stealing plays and stealing this and stealing that, and that's supposed to be your main method of succeeding, and then you take the guy who supposedly is the architect of it, and he's on the sideline whispering in the ears of the coordinators and the head coach about what to do, and then they're calling up the right plays because they know your signs, and that's how you're beating you, and you have that guy ripped out of the system 2-3 days before. You should look a little choppy. You should look a little bit up and down. 49-0. And it could have been 56-0 if Michigan didn't have a motion penalty with time winding down and no timeouts left at the end of the first half. It would have been 35-0 at halftime. And I was just like Hans Gruber, hit it again. All of us in the Michigan fan base were like, Kylo Ren, more. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.